guys, how you guys doing? I honestly didn't know what I was going to talk about today, but I wanted to do a video. There's quite a few things going on in my mind today about what I could possibly discuss. And I guess the main thing that we could talk about today, this is me stepping into the unknown. Maybe that's what I'll talk about, stepping into the unknown. Yeah, that seems like it's resonating right now. The ability for one to walk into a place of not fully being aware of a situation, what's to come, or how it evolves. I think oftentimes we get locked on planning and executing because it's been programmed into us to believe that's the only way that we can be successful or we can embody everything that we are. And with this comes limitations. Our life is nothing but unknowns. And when we operate from a place of consistent needing to know, consistent needing to control, to act in a place of power, and not that power is a bad thing, but it can be detrimental if the power isn't being utilized in the best way. Okay, so power doesn't come from limitations. Power comes from the inner knowings and the inner standings that we can walk into the unknown, that we can expand through the uncomfortable, and we can become everything that we already are. It's our mindset, and it's our perspective of what is, which is beyond the things that we think about. But because we're so consciously aware of everything, and we're trying to come in a sense of direct vision towards our thoughts, towards our achievements, towards the things we're trying to create, right? As conscious beings, we do that. We believe that consciousness is the thoughts about something versus what it truthfully is, which is the embodiment of the unknown within ourselves, which actually is known through just the flow of things, if that makes sense. I'm hoping this makes sense. This is all just coming to me through that space, through that stillness. Okay, so I know that sometimes we want to just go with the initial way of doing things. I know that the comfort of doing things in the way that it operates and how others want it to operate and how they're telling you it's supposed to operate, or that level of like direct, like it's a penetrating force. But, and I got emotional a little bit there, because that's what happens is like when you go into the unknown, sometimes it's scary. You know, it's like being afraid of your shadow. The shadow is the fear of the unknown. The shadow is the fear of being unaware of what could come by being vulnerable. And vulnerability isn't when you act out of protection. Vulnerability is embracing the core of your essence and your being and allowing that to flow. And a lot of people, if they aren't at that level of awareness, can oftentimes reject you. They can oftentimes look at you in a negative way. They may, if you act from a place of knowing and say that knowing comes out as an emotional expression to create change, to create awareness within the foundation of whatever's going on. Sometimes people can take that and they can perceive it only in the light that they see, unable to really configure transmutation and like adaptation to what is being presented. And this here is like almost that awareness of emotional intelligence as well. And there are individuals too who believe that emotional intelligence is simply the block of the emotions that come forward, that we are meant to just act in a specific way in order to blend within a community, in order to make sure that nobody's feelings get hurt. When in fact, emotional intelligence is created through the pressure of the unknown, through the pressure of the sometimes triggers that are presented, and then how we formulate a deeper concept of that. What does that mean for us? How does the person in front of us truthfully feel? And I'm not saying projection, because it's different to have projection and the trigger, which the residual kind of comes up and then it becomes reactive. I'm talking about the innate depth of walking into the unknown, of expression, in hopes that it benefits the whole. Okay, so I need to sit with this for a moment. A couple deep breaths. There are times when we try to control through the unknown and our mind starts to walk into situations that we've experienced to help us in order to compare and understand the uncomfort so that we can regain power and control over things. And this is common. It's a common thing for us to do. It's uncommon to be comfortable in the uncomfort and to move through the uncomfort of the unknown. And so this is where courage and conviction of truth and understanding of the self really comes into play. Because if you can walk in the uncomfort of the unknown without having to be in power of the concepts and just allow yourself to flow freely, no need to cut and coordinate, because what is meant to be spoken will be spoken. What is meant to be configured will configure. I don't know if you can hear that bird, but that's a sign. Spiritual awareness is the unknown. It's walking into your shadow and configuring a collaboration between what is light and what is presented always, and what is hidden within the self that needs to be constructed 10-10, constructed as a unit, as a force of totality. I just had a vision of like a serpent for a second there, the Infinity 8, and we aren't asked to know everything in a logical sense of knowing and thinking, but we are meant to tap into the parts of ourselves that cause us to feel our throat chakra almost to want to close down. And there are forces out there that are trying to limit that 1111, trying to limit the ability for us to facilitate from truth, from the deepest parts of our awareness. And they're labeling it as consciousness, and they're telling people that the parts of themselves that are deeper, the deeper knowings, the deeper truths, are not proper, that they are reactive and they aren't logical. Now, as much as that can be a fact for some, there is always something more powerful within you outside of the constructs of trying to coordinate everything that you do or say. I just 12. Okay, so I guess in this moment of unknown, I think that it's important for us to also start to develop that other alternative side of us, that side of us that is afraid and is, I'm shaking right now, is that uncomfort. It makes me want to throw up. It's like the fear of public speaking. What is that? That's the level of the uncomfort, of the unknown. And I'm hearing it's like in drama class when you do improv, where you are meant to step into this new energy, this creative force that's inside of you that others have no control over, and that you feel and know within yourself. And you don't have to overprocess it. It flows. And there is no reason. It just is. And this is the voice of consistency in the back of your mind that creates doubt and creates shame and creates this sense of fear that isn't actually truth. It isn't actually the fostering of what is. It is just a falsity of programming, and we have to start to move through that and eradicate that part of us that no, not eradicate, excuse me, that's not right. The part of us needs to be integrated, not eradicated, because there are times where we need to operate in a sense of knowing and it's like I see limbo. I see hold on. Because so many people are operating from a sense of control and programming, there's no way to bridge the gap unless we are able to operate within the limbo zone, within the middle zone of these controls and these moments of like self flow, free flow. So finding the balance is very important right now to make sure that we're integrating properly and that we don't leave our brothers and sisters behind. We don't leave the people in our life behind, because we want to help elevate everybody. This isn't a self-service. This is a service in the totality of what is around us as well. And 1616, this is how we will facilitate new growth into what is being presented. That being said, I welcome you to try to step into the uncomfort of the unknown a little bit more and to trust the guidance that's coming from your heart. Trust the things that are being presented to you, and not the harmful parts, not going out and like attacking somebody or doing something ridiculous that would be detrimental to humanity. I'm saying to evoke the part of yourself that you, in the comfort of the safety of self-expression, but not projection. And you will feel the difference, because projection can feel like anger and resentment and hurt. The space of unknown and synchronicity and flow feels like a nothingness, but evokes bodily like shakes and intuition. And it may feel uncomfortable, especially if you haven't been there. Take some time to sit in that and allow it to foster new awarenesses within you, like meditation does, or like body work does, and breath work. I love you, and I hope that was helpful. And I'm coming back into the space of awareness. Okay. Oh my goodness, my glasses doing, like, you can see my newer light. I haven't been using it really, so now I'm starting to use it again. But love you guys so much, and a lot of what I just said was channeling, so I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and make sure you comment if there's something you need to talk about, or those comments also help me to get the message out. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say I love you and I appreciate you, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Make sure you subscribe if you want to get more of these videos. I've been doing a lot more talking than I have been my tarot. So if you want to see more tarot, you can comment in the comments and just say, please, can you do more tarot? But I'm also available for readings and stuff as well. So you can find me on my blog or on social media, or you can email me. If you don't know where any of that is, it's usually in my descriptions, or you can comment and I can get back to you. So, love you guys very much, and I will talk to you very soon. Lots of love. Toodles.